Hey everybody, this is Ursus again, up with another deck profile. This time I'm going to be going over my Gaia Emperor Tachikaze deck.
Waiting for you to arrive again.
Yeah, I've been messing around with this. It's been pretty fun. I guess let's just get into it. Blah. For starters, running baby camera. Once again, I know you guys probably already know these cards. I'll go over anything new, but for the most part, yeah, just to make it a bit quicker. Yeah, camera, it's probably the best option for starter. Puts in a lot of advantage once you start striding, once you kill it. And thanks to Gaia Emperor skill, just bring it back over and over again, attacking it over and over again, makes it good. Alright. The obvious, Emperor Dragon, Gaia Emperor at 4. Yeah, this is what you wanna always be on, always. His Engorge skill makes him a pretty useful target on rear too, as well. But it's definitely his on-stride skill that definitely makes it worthwhile. Being able to recycle your rears, well, I guess recycle your rears back and forth off field, giving you extra on retire effects and just extra attacks in general makes it really good, which, again, things I like. Next. Frenzy Emperor Dragon Gaia Desperado. The new Gaia out of set 9. Well, set 10, sorry. Once again, like the other Gaia, the Vanguard and Gorge sets up a lot of plays. His secondary ability is Continuous Vanguard Rear GB2. If this unit is engorged, he gets plus 5k. And if he's a Vanguard, he gets crit plus 1. So essentially, he has original Gaia GB2, except now it's usable on rear without the crit. Honestly, he works way better as a rear guard than he does as a van, because his on-stride skill is when a unit strides over him, you can choose one of your Vanguards with the Engorge ability, and which most of them will have. And they'll get the skill Counterblast 1. When this unit becomes engorged, you draw a card. On paper, sounds pretty good, helpful. Not really. I mean, the extra card's nice and all, but it's definitely not as good as the spammable abilities you get from Gaia Emperors on Stride. So, you mainly want him on rear. He's there mostly for the fact that he has Gaia in the name. So, yeah. Next, for Great 2s. 3 Tank Mammoth. Yeah, this is definitely your early game potential. I guess my Grade 2 lineup's kind of wonky with the way he runs, but yeah, he's definitely good for in both like mid to late game, but definitely early game for just that. Hey, I swing. Hey, I kill him. Bring him back. Rushy kind of thing. So yeah, and between your Great One's effects, it's pretty easy to spam them. Next, running 3 Gigon Flame. So he has Engorge, Vanguard Radar Circle. And a continuous if you do not have any Vanguards with Gaia in its card name or an engorged unit, this unit cannot attack a Vanguard. This makes it pretty annoying when you have to ride them and you don't have anything that can engorge. Like I said, it's kind of wonky when you have to ride them and you have the Tank Mammoth there, because if you don't have anything else that can engorge it, he can't attack Van. So I guess you could, honestly, sack something else, but swing at a rear. if you have to ride them, but sacrifices must be made, I guess. It's also an 11k base, which gives you a little bit of a defensive what. And continuous rear. This unit gets 5k for each of your other engorged unit. So later, when you start striding, when you start going off, this guy can get pretty big. Definitely like the 16 to 26, I guess, ish. I usually have him about 21, but just definitely being able to swing for those kind of numbers by himself makes him pretty formidable, especially with Gaia Emperor when you can just bring him back and keep swinging like that. So yeah.
Do you have any problems with the engorge?
Yeah, I talked about that.
Oh, okay, good. Sorry, I missed that. I blanked out for a second.
Oh, no problem. It's actually a pretty big thing to watch out for.
Yeah.
Next, 3 Jigsaw-saurus. Honestly, he's both really good and really clunky for me. He's nice to have around, but it's one of those effects that's really good, but you don't find yourself spamming it, which is kind of unfortunate, I guess. He's pretty strong, but yeah, it's, I think the only thing honestly keeping me from doing more with this card is the fact that he doesn't personally have Engorge. I'll probably swap him out for one of them out for an Abata Master simply for that reason, but for now I'm just running him at 3. So next, 3 Abata Masters, Glimmer Breath for Gaia. Again, one of those effects that you're not really spamming too often. It's nice to have around for the extra draw. Early game, keep that advantage. Make sure you have replacement rear guards when things actually die. But, yeah, he's mainly there because he does have Engorge. He sets off the early game for Tank Mammoth if you ride him, or if you have enough to just call him a rear guard. In between other turns, just being able to swing at vans, sack other things to bring them back, recall them, swing again. It's nice. It's the multi-attack thing is really good. It's definitely where Tachi's, I guess, kind of needed to go. But yeah, for great ones, I run 4 Staracalord. These should be Savage Guardians, or at least 3 of them should be Savage Guardians. Yeah, you can search these out with camera. That can eventually get can get them into hand. Yeah, I prefer the Savage Guardians for the counter charge, but I haven't been running into any problems. But I guess if I find them, I'll swap them. Next, 4 Stride Fighter, obvious Stride Fighter. Because this does go with Gaia Emperor, you can swap your Gaia Emperors if you run into the fact that your starting hand has a Desperado that you honestly don't want, that you probably shouldn't want. Let's be real. You can just plop them down, search yourself an Emperor, sack Desperado, and there you go. You're on your way. Or sack something else just to guarantee you have the Stride Fighter, which is personally what I do. But, yeah. 4 Stride Fighter. Gotta make sure you're able to stride. So, maxing out in this deck is a pretty good preference for me. Next, we have 4 Freezer next. Yeah, this is something I'm usually gonna be targeting with Emperor skill. 1, the counter charge and the soul charge are extremely important. So yeah, killing him off, bringing him back, and killing him off again is definitely something usable in the deck. It definitely holds up the weight for me not having the Savage Guardians. Not to mention the extra 2k can make things pretty annoying with my opponent. For my opponent, because stacking it on things over and over again, is really nice. So to make those beefier guards. And then last, have 2 Pachycephalo, new promo, Engorge, Vanguard, or Rear Circle. Continuous. When this unit is engorged, it gets plus 2k power, so a 9k to fill out those columns, since Camera can search ones for you. And Soul Blast 1, when this unit is retired for the cost of one of your Gaia units, you may pay the cost if you do draw a card. Yeah, it's something that definitely gives you an advantage. It's like Freeze Ernix, spamming it over and over again definitely gives you a lot. The Soul Blast is you honestly aren't using too much Soul Blast anyway, but between your Freeze Ernixes coming back, it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, 2. For triggers, the 4 Paris Launcher, Auto, you have double Gaia, your 3 lineup, so of course you're gonna be running this. Next, for Dino Dial, another one of those things that helps make up for not having the Savage Guardians. Also, even if you did, the counter charge on the spot counter charging is nice. Plus, yeah, great. Now here's when things get kind of interesting, not really surprising though, but for Black Cannon Tiger, yep, 12 crit. Honestly, I do like 4 draw. 1, because it's Marvel clone, so yeah, extra power, extra soul. But Black Cannon Tiger, so if you throw him out as a booster and it hits, you can soul charge 1 and send him back to deck, so it does allow you to recycle your triggers a bit more. This is honestly, for me, more like a just throw my opponent off. They're not expecting the extra crits off the top. So yeah, it's more of a just kind of push hard and then push harder because my opponent's near 5 or at 5. And then the obvious 4 of Best Heal. Yeah. Don't argue. For G-Zone, the obvious 4 Gluttony Dogma. I'm not gonna lie, there's not much to this deck. This is your star. If you get this off twice, your opponent's probably dead. If your opponent stops this card, you're probably having a bad time. Yeah, it's definitely strong restand of this. And just base good, but combined with your Gaia Emperor just makes the deck insane. 6+ attacks with double attacks coming from 2 attacks coming from the Vanguard, just too good. Over and over, turn after turn, definitely good. Super, I guess, self-explanatory for a lot of us, but it's really powerful. Coming up next is 4 Great Emperor Dragon Gaia Dynast, new strive from set 10. So first off, he does have Vanguard Circle and Gorge. GB3. When your regard is retired, by this unit specifically, by the effect of this unit specifically, you can counterblast 1. And if you do, you call that unit back to Rearguard Circle, and it gets 3k power. So yeah, more of those recalling things, kind of like Ancient Dragons. Other skill, Vanguard Circle. So you choose a face down copy of him, you turn it face up, and when he becomes engorged, you can pay the cost, which is kill one of your own rear guards. If you do, well, actually, it's just the cost is just turning face up. But if you pay the cost, you can retire one of your rear guards, and retire all rear guards in the same column as that unit, and then counter charge 1. I actually really like this card. It's a good thing to have in between Dogma. Like, I think it adds a lot of versatility, like, outside of just playing, hey, I restand, bring back my field, I restand, bring back my field. He has a little control aspect, which I really like. Eventually, between, like, counter-charging effects, you do get to a point where you can definitely just, like, beat down someone with his, GB3 skill. Just bring something back with 3k over and over again to make your column scary, because usually that makes them 22 with the 3k power. But I really like him. It's one of those cards that I guess is preference. I'm not really sure what you'd run over him if you're not using him, but yeah, I like it. Plus the counter charge kind of sets up for his other ability. So next, the one hammer go wall. I guess referencing back to my little art deck, it's just one of those things. I kind of like the control aspect of him. He also doesn't require. If I could, I'd run another Grado Gigant, but he does require one less rear guard for his ability to go off. So it's nice to know that I have the option that uses a little less resources. Next, the next one, Grado Gigant. Solid first stride. Gets you some early advantage. And combined with Gaia Emperor, helps you push a little harder. But, yeah, at the same time. But, yeah, he's there. Next is the one of Twin Tempest. You probably won't be using him too often. But when you do, you will feel like a god, because when you actually need to use him, he is great. Just being able to just say bye-bye to that annoying field that your opponent has, especially when they can't come back from it or as fast. You can definitely just drop this into, like, a Dogma next turn and just watch your opponent cry. Yeah, he's just more of that control aspect, and I really like having the tech in there. For G-Guards, Dimer Phalanx, yeah, easy 31. And the 2 Blockade Ganga. So you choose one of your rear guards and retire it. When he's placed on Guardian Circle, you pay the cost. If you do, you get 10k shield. And until the end of the battle, and then you can choose 2 of your rear guards, and they get, when this unit is retired, return it to your hand. The second skill, I guess, puts a little, insurance on your other rears that you don't sack off his ability. Yeah, it's something, it's good to have around, plus it's what's bad about making your mana 36 for the attack. That's 2 passing most attacks, I guess. And it's just good. We have these G-Guards, you run them. And then finally, I guess to go over the 1 Seabreeze. So, little note. If you are watching any one of my videos and you say, hey Ursus, for some reason you only have a 15 card G-Zone, that is because this little black sleeve Seabreeze is floating around in one of my other decks, and I did not put it in there for the deck profile. But yeah, this is that 16th spot. I am usually running a Seabreeze. It's always nice to have. It's good to just people really like to stall on grade 2. So if you can honestly afford going into it, I recommend it. But yeah, as far as this stacks up with the rest of the decks out there, it does pretty well. It's one of those, if you have it, your life's good. If you don't, when you can definitely have access to all of your rear guards and all of your combos, it's definitely one of those things where you'll probably win. But if your opponent does have any sort of control in their deck, you can get to your rear guards before you do. It'll definitely make the game hard, and usually it won't go too well for you. You can play out of it, but it'll definitely be an uphill battle. But yeah, just not to extend this too long, this is my Gaia Emperor deck, and I will see you guys later. Bye.